about like that.
Recording in progress.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, they have the what they call the one space land. This is the land between the Batam jetty and Harbour Bay. Okay, very near and very close with the Batam public jetty. Okay, and then we also continue discussing with the new Batam custom. Okay, they are very concerned and they also want to make it this our what they call our business can be done as soon as possible. Okay, but just with this one, I really need more detailed information from your side. Okay, regarding about what the treatment, what the services you need from us. Okay, with the facility in Batam and the good position in Batam. Okay, the in-out formalities, what the requirement, and from this one we will know how to handle it. Yeah, how to handle your business, how to handle your good, make everything clear. Okay, make everything clear, and then we can run the business very smoothly. Okay, the example like your container we bring to Batam from what they call, I mean from how to the shipment from Batam to Batam, from Singapore to Batu Ampar, or from overseas to Batam. And also when we do the repacking or whatever, how you want to be shipment from Batam or to the next port, what you like. Okay, and then also for the warehouse, how kind of the warehouse you need it from us, because this we have the land already, and with the detail of information from your side, and then from the formalities, what you requirement. Okay, we can continue to make more closer with the custom. Okay, before we are starting everything smooth already, Pak Jos. This is from my side. Thank you, Pak.
Okay. So good afternoon, Pak Jadi, Pak Ricky, good afternoon, Pak Frankie, good afternoon. Thank you very much. I understand it is time to move into the next dialogue for how to develop, make use of Batam to facilitate some business that Singapore cannot handle. I think that is your objective. We have to show the world that Batam is capable of taking over some of the business. My experience with Singapore Association of Ship Suppliers and Services, the SASS of Singapore, I am still a council member. Every month we have a meeting with all the other council members, and some of them are shipping companies. They will bring a lot of problems to the table. And one of the biggest problems to the table is that shipping is getting very costly in Singapore. It is not making sense. Shanghai is cheaper than Singapore. How is that? Because there is price to be paid for the pilot charges. There is price to be paid to masuk dalam anchorage Singapore. There is price based on once the captain bring the kapal into Singapore anchorage, there is urine test, drug test. All these are chargeable. Okay, so before the ship enter into anchorage, already two speedboats go out to the ship. One is the pilot, one is the drug and alcohol test. All right, the pilot will bring the ship kapal into Singapore anchorage. The drug and alcohol will take the captain's urine and breath to see whether he drink before arrival into anchorage. Kalau dia kena, he will be stopped. The ship cannot masuk into anchorage in Singapore. This is guarantee. All this must bayar. You have to pay. The ship has to pay. All right. Now the ship, if going into the port of Singapore, you have to pay berthing charges in Singapore, which is very expensive. If the ship is now loading in Anchorage, landing in Anchorage Point, it's also not so expensive as berth, but Still, like macam sewa lah satu tempat, I stay there for 3 days.
Yeah.
You know, now the other part of it, when the barang-barang they order from Singapore, there are the uplifting charges from the Jurong port into the supply boat. That is, supply boat will go out to the anchorage. So there is lifting charge. There is supply boat charge. It's getting very expensive in Singapore. So the last 3 months, there is a lot of fighting going on in Singapore Association of Ship Supply because we represent 150 ship chandlers in Singapore. There is a lot of clash with authorities in Singapore to ask to dialogue to bring the prices down. But the authorities in Singapore is between you and me. They do not want to meet anybody. Singapore is very simple. This is my price, you pay the price. Itu aja. You don't come and aci-aci with me, $5 cheaper, $10 cheaper, they don't want. They're not interested. They are not interested. They are not going to reduce their fees. This is very good news for pelepas, Tanjung Pelepas in Malaysia and Batam. But unfortunately, I hear more sound coming from Tanjung Pelepas, who's trying to catch the business that is Singapore. But I hear Batam is trying. But Batam needs a consultant from Singapore to help you set up what is needed. And then you need a marketing man to sell Batam ship channeling and anchorage and facilitas to all the shipping companies. You and I cannot sell. We are not in this business part. We are passionate people. We want to do the business, but we are scratching our kepala. How to start? How to go? How to start? How to go? What we need is one consultant to ensure that everything is in place. Dari A sampai Z. Everything is available. When you say everything is available, do you have fresh water supply? Do you have bunkering supply? Do you have fresh vegetable supply? I want 10,000 roll of tissue paper. I want 5,000 whatever they say. I can give Pak Ricky the latest list of 20,000 items stocked by ship chandlers in Singapore. These are provision, wet, dry, spare, general store. You must even have mattress. You must have pillow. You must have this. Nut, bolt, screwdriver, power driller, everything. All must be there. You know, this is a complete list. The list is not 100 or 200 items. The list, I talked to Sinwa, HMS Far East, the big suppliers, Risk Far East. Dia ada kurang-kurang 20,000 label. But they don't keep everything. The ship will advise you early, like next week I'm coming to Singapore. Please stand by. So advance order ada. The ship will not come to you in Batam and say, this is my list. No, the ship has to give you 1-2 weeks before they arrive. That is the good news. Okay, you have time to prepare. But the bad news is, do you have water, fresh water? How are you going to bring the fresh water to the anchorage? If your ship cannot go alongside into the harbor, alongside the berthing, how do you expect the ship to take fresh water? Bunkering, oil, very important. Can we fight the prices offered to? Okay, Singapore, bunkering is very cheap, but not the cheapest anymore. Shanghai is cheaper, China. I can share with you the entire flow, what they are looking for, what they want, everything. Because the last 3 months, this has become a very big problem, Papa. Because of COVID-19. Now, you know the rope. One rope is about this big, one rope. Huh? Even that rope, you must spray, disinfect before they tarik balik onto the kapal.
Bush.
Because they are scared of COVID-19. Their crew cannot come down. The crew cannot come down to the port, cannot touch the supply boat operator, cannot. Everything is passed on. All this must be disinfected today. But not everybody is doing it. That is why kalau satu orang kena the COVID-19, and if you don't do the process of disinfection, you will spread. The whole kapal kena means finish. The kapal cannot jalan for 21 days sitting down there. All right. Then you got insurance. Then you got all the other procedures, classification, superintendent survey. Do we have all this in Batam?
Yes, yes, Pak.
You know, the best company in survey is Det Noske, DNB.
Yes.
They're based in Singapore. The HQ for ASEA is in Singapore. You know, they are also liaising with the shipping company. When the couple come in, oh, superintendent, I need you to go and check. Is this stable, working? If it's working, good. How long more can it work? Maybe 3 bulan lagi atau 6 bulan lagi. Then the shipping company will gather all this information and start, okay, next port call in Shanghai, 6 months later, this ship will have to change the gyrometer. This ship will have to change this engine part. Because superintendent say, dalam 6 bulan akan datang, this will house. So they got to stand by all this. But don't worry. Let us think from the basic first. What is the basic? I think in Batam can provide a lot of provision. Beras, sugar, coffee, tea. Indonesia is good in this. You have a lot of good quality provision. You know, you're looking at soap. You can look at shampoo lah. You can semua ada. Batam semua ada. That one no problem, right? That one satu hari so they can atur everything already. Can put inside the supply boat and go out to the sea, and send to the kapal. The kapal can know how to take up one by one, right? But if your boat is too small, the kapal is so big, also have problem how to bring the goods barang-barang from the supply boat, which is very small, to the big ship, which is very big. All right? We got to think about all this process. We have to think through bagaimana step 1, step 2, step 1 ada A, B, C, D. Step 2 ada A, B, C, D. Step 3 there's so many things. But we can start now. We can put this into writing. Plan the operational procedure. First, the plan, followed by the operational procedure. Then you have to let more people tarik into it to say, you have to do this, come back. You have to do this, you come back. What is the problem? What is the supply chain? What can be done? If kalau tak ada supply, what can be done next? Mesti ada alternative. Standby plan. Wet weather plan. You know, what happens if the sea gets rough, choppy? What do we do? You know, these are many of the things that need a lot of answers, and we need to start planning. The other thing is, that is ship channeling. The other part is transshipment, which is more direct, more senang. In Singapore, ada banyak quota. But not by customs, not by government. Singapore free port, bebas. Government say you want to bring anything, can, boleh, no problem. You pay the tax, you documentation, or buy, okay, you can bring in Singapore. But there are certain companies like Johnson and Johnson. This cannot enter Singapore. That cannot, because Singapore has their own distributor. Singapore has their own label manufacturer. Singapore has their own agent, right? So what do? We look for another port to masuk, go to another port, unstaff, and ship back into Singapore under a different way. Likewise, we do with other things that are out from Singapore. That means from Singapore, We send to Indonesia, unstuff, change container, send to Europa or Vietnam or Hong Kong or Philippines like that. So this is a little more direct approach and more simple. All right. Say, for example, I want to ship Dettol. Dettol is, say, for example, kalau Dettol, all right. If I want to buy from Singapore Dettol, I have a lot of problem because the price of Dettol is $12 for 1 liter. But if I buy from Batam, it's cheaper. So why not? I can buy from Batam, all right, send to Europa or send to another country which has a different price structure altogether. Dettol is made in Indonesia. You have a factory that's making Dettol in Indonesia. So you can procure the stock. We are talking about coffee. I was talking about coffee. I spoke to Pak Ricky about coffee. The world say coffee luwak is the most expensive coffee they want. But this is only for certain market. It's not mass market. Coffee luwak is in Michelin star restaurant where they will buy at good price and they will sell at good price. 1 cup of coffee is $22. One small cup of coffee luwak is $22, the cheapest in Singapore. But we can buy from Indonesia some quantity. Then we can buy second grade coffee. Then we can buy third grade coffee. We can go into that. I can then open to Europa market. Siapa mau? How many people want? Okay. You want to buy? You want to buy. Then I come back to Pak Ricky, Pak Frankie. This is the order for next month. Then you got ample time, 2 minggu, 3 minggu to go and aturkan the order, hold it, you know. Hold it into the gudang in Batam and then consolidate. But you see, from Batam, you don't have a ship going to Europa. So you have to enter Singapore. From Singapore, there is daily connection to Europe, Japan, Korea, China, you know, all right? From other country, even if they come to Singapore, they offload the container. Don't need to open the container, right, Pa Frankie? They offload the container in Singapore. They to a ship going to Batam. When we arrive in Batam, we open the container and then we decide how many porsi for Singapore, how many porsi for Malaysia, how many porsi for Hong Kong, Vietnam, you know. You understand, Pa Frankie?
Yes, yes.
Because you're in the shipping business, I know.
Yes.
So you understand very well.
Yes.
All right. But if we do it in Singapore, the harganya sudah naik. Because land cost is expensive. Worker cost is expensive. All this adds up. So if the container comes to Singapore, what I do is straight away I will work with Pak Frankie. Pak Frankie, this container arriving from Vietnam or from Europa, arriving on the Monday, the 21st of September. First available transfer to Batam, please take out. Pak Frankie, Pak George, I have. Tuesday ada satu kapal going to Batam. That container will go to Batam. Pak Ricky, you take the container, you keep in the warehouse. All right. Then my order come to you. Pak Ricky, this 3 pallet is going there. 20 pallet, 5 pallet going here. 3 pallet going there. So your cost is in rupiah. Your land cost, your worker, your staff cost, and everything in Singapore. So you just need to bill me how much, and then we ship out again. If I do in Singapore, mahal.
Yeah.
Because the workers, unstuffing, pick, pack workers, all very expensive. That is the situation. So ada 2 scenario, Pak Frankie.
Yeah.
One is ship channeling, which will take some time to sit down and first do the plan.
Yeah.
Second, do the operational plan.
Yep.
And then we need one basic consultant to make sure everything, one like general manager to make sure everything is there in Batam.
Yep.
And then one marketing manager or some guy in the shipping business, he will start selling all these services.
Yep.
But I can give him the whole list. He doesn't need to come to Singapore. But you need to find somebody good from Indonesia side,
Okay.
which you have. You have. I know so many marketing people in other parts of Indonesia, so good. They can sell the hotel. Tutup mata, they can sell the hotel 365 days. Those kind of director of sales, they're very good people. They know what to do. But they are trained to do it. They have experience to do it. They know what to sell. What are the plus points? You know? So that is ship channeling. The other part is transshipment. Transshipment is the container arrive in Batam, unload, buka container, all right, repack or no need to repack, all right, out again.
Pak Jos, sorry Pak, I a bit disturb you Pak ya. Okay, back to I have some question for you. Okay, have you calculate Pak? Okay, if you we talk about the transshipment first. Okay, to bring the container to Batam, of course we are take from Singapore, and after that, okay, redo the repacking or whatever, and of course we send back to Singapore again.
Correct.
Have you calculate regarding about the cost for the ship the container to Batam and back to from Batam to Singapore again? The cost more efficient than to the repacking or storage in Singapore.
Okay, we have made some basic calculation. All right, when a container comes in, when a container comes into Singapore, all right, you have to go through Singapore port handling charges.
Okay.
The port handling charge, you know lah, Pak Frankie, the THC lah, the M what C lah, all C
Yeah.
20 foot, $600. 40 foot, berapa? 1,200. Already lost.
Yes.
So, without paying all that, the container arrive in the port of Singapore, langsung ke Batam.
Okay.
You don't need to pay all, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you langsung to Batam. You already saved down there, right?
Yeah.
So with that saving, you need to unstuff the container, repacking to other containers along with other barang, and ship out again. But if you bring the container from Singapore, pay all the port handling charges, bring to my warehouse another set of costs, keep in my warehouse for 2-3 hari, maybe 1 minggu, use my local Singaporeans to do the repacking again, banyak mahal lagi.
Okay.
All right. And then I have to send back out on way out. I need to pay the THC again. All right. Not cheap.
No, so, that's why, but if we compare, you know, we just discussing, but yeah, okay, let's say if you say sell 1,000 something, if you bring the container to Batam, of course the freight from Singapore to Batam also this is the cost.
How much?
Okay.
Let's work out the cost. We have to be prudent because cost is important.
We try to calculate together about this one. And also from Batam, if you send back by 20 feet or 40 feet containers, also this is the cost. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will be cheaper.
They will be cheaper, yeah. You're confident. Okay. I give you the detail. I will get you the detail. Okay?
Lovely.
And then maybe we can try to make the make the more detailed for the technical issue. Okay, to get this is the point of business that can be done with the treatment. I think this is more faster to make this business done first. And after that, when everything's smooth, maybe we do the parallelly with the seed channel, because I also have the big question for you.
Okay.
Regarding about the seed channel. Okay. When the vessel come to Singapore to anchor it, okay, to take all the stuff they need for the vessel, because of course this vessel needs want to go to the Singapore port, not go to the Batam port. Okay, we will do the ship channel in Batam. with this statement, of course, they just take the stuff only for take the stuff for the supply, and after that they go to Singapore again.
Okay, I understand you, Pa. Okay, that means before they masuk into Singapore, they will stop in Batam, pick up all the provision stock.
Yeah, and then of course the destination port of Singapore, because the vessel, but if the vessel just pass away, it's meant from Europe or go to Shanghai or Japan, they need to stop. Okay, we have the opportunity for vessel just drop anchor or OPL. But it's the destination of the vessel, Singapore. Of course, they take all the stuff for the ship tender they need from Singapore. They don't want to come to Batam, do the clearance, and go to Singapore again to do the clearance to pick up the cargo. This is the point.
Okay. So yeah, betul. Erti. That means it's double work. Double work. I understand. So ship channeling, if you look at it, the ship don't want to spend too much time. Time is money for them.
Time is money. But if they have the cargo in Batam, of course, okay,
correct.
Batam we do the supply. This is common what we did right now. Okay, but if the destination is the Singapore, the next port is Singapore, quite complicated. I think this is a bit the issue lah. But if they just pass by, pass by from Europe to Japan, maybe
OPL, that one boleh.
This is the opportunity.
Yeah, OPL waters. But many ships are very scared to stop in the OPL. They try. Yesterday have, today have, But in this, okay, very interesting point to know this. The number of ships in OPL is 300 per day.
Okay.
The number of ship passing per day 300 sehari. If we can capture this market, but Frankie said this is better. It makes sense to do some business.
Yeah.
So this 300 ship passing every day, they must be able to receive information that there are Batam suppliers waiting in the OPL to supply the ship. Do you have those supply boats ready?
Yes, but this is the what they call the facility about this one. We can do that, and we can prepare for this one. This is no issue.
But right now, Tada, right? Right now, there's nothing, right?
Right now, they don't have. They're using the crew boat, but crew boat also have.
Okay.
Yeah, this is like the crew boat. I think bit bigger than the Singapore Jurong they're using to supply all the good, bit bigger lah. Okay, they also have the similar. Okay, they have the deck to put all the cargoes.
I see. Okay, so this is a very good idea to start working first.
Yeah.
But we need somebody to sell to all the ship supplier company and the shipping company in Singapore, which is like about total list is about 500. Do you have the total list of the shipping and ship supplier in Singapore? If not, I will take for you from Maritime Port Authority. I'll take from you.
Okay.
So my job is to collect all the data of all the shipping company, all right, and also the ship supplier. And then we have to start introducing letter to them that your ship don't need to come in anywhere. At OPL between Singapore and Batam, you just need to slow down to maybe 1-2 knots.
Yes.
There's an Indonesian supply boat waiting to supply you. Betul, Pak?
Betul, Pak.
Okay.
Betul.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or something in the future, or something in future. Okay, this is the opportunity again that we want to try to talk to all the what they call Indonesia CIQP or Naval Navy or Police Marine. Okay, for the vessel, they can stop in Batu Ampar, from Batu Ampar anchoring just a moment, but no need to do the in and out clearance. Okay, just drop anchor, then do the and then you supply the good, and then the vessel.
Langsung, yes.
Opportunity also. This is our job. This is our job. We can talk about this one. That's why I say if the Singapore, if the this is just the two kind of the opportunity to get the what you call the customer from the seat tender, ya, Pak, ya.
Boleh.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have two idea. One is OPL supply, and one is when you are ready after you talk to the CIQ clearance of Batam.
Yeah.
That means kapal masuk anchorage, no registration, no nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
Just masuk, drop anchor, ambil barang, pull anchor, cabut.
Go.
Keluar.
Cabut.
That means dalam 4-5 jam boleh out.
Yes, because the
Correct.
regulation also this is accommodate for this one, but the Indonesia regulation, when the vessel stop in the port less than 24 hours, they don't need to do the inward and outward clearance.
Okay, good. Good idea. This okay. So now we got to sit down and write some document, some letter, some plan, some proposal, some, and then start making some operational idea.
Okay.
So that
I think
we don't sit down on the plan, but we start with operational idea.
Yeah. I think this is what you call because we need also talk to the Batam, the head of Batam Authority regarding about the land, the transshipment that you are talking about. But
Yes.
okay, for the final, for the calculation, I will get all the detail, how much the cost for the ship, the 120-feet container from Singapore to Batam and Batam to Singapore. And then from this one, we try to calculate, this is worth it, we can do this kind of the transshipment in Batam or not because of the cost.
Yeah. Because your transshipment, if it's going to Europe, tada. Very little transshipment to Europe, right?
Yeah.
From Batam.
No, I think nothing. From to overseas also nothing. But Batam only the port only accommodate for the domestic only. But
yeah. So kalau if we for the transshipment, kalau if from Batam can we ship to a big port like Tanjung Priok or Surabaya to catch the big ship going to Europe?
Okay, if we go, okay, of course, but if compared to Singapore, the cost of the freight from Batam to Jakarta or to Surabaya quite expensive also.
Okay.
I think better we just go to Singapore.
Because too expensive. Singapore very expensive.
Too expensive, yeah.
Too expensive. We are looking at about easily 4,000-5,000 just for one container.
From where? From
in out.
From Batam to Singapore.
Not Batam, Singapore. From any country, arrive Singapore, and then catch the next vessel going out to another country or going back to the same country. We are talking about $4,000-5,000 one container.
Okay.
Because Singapore is very expensive.
Okay.
Believe me. If you all can do it at one container $2,000-3,000. Imagine you get 10 containers a week. We will have to give you 10 containers. The rate is you have to give us is based on how many rate container. So if I tell you 10 container, then you give me a quotation on 10 container per week. Whether I hit 10 container or no container, I have to still pay you the money.
Yeah.
You see? That this is fair business, Pa Frankie. Yeah. You see? Then if I give you, say, my usual container, which is 45 to 55 container per week, then your price has to be something more competitive. So currently, we are not doing so many because the price in Singapore is very expensive. Singapore workers, Pa Frankie, from Pelabuhan to my warehouse, one trailer. How much?
200.
Yeah, 250 lah.
250, yeah.
250. All right. From Singapore to Ho Chi Minh, sea freight 250. Dari Pelabuhan Singapore to Pelabuhan Vietnam, $250 only. But from Tuas Port to my warehouse is 250.
But maybe we have right now we have the Devian, Pak Devian.
Pak Delvian and Pak Victor also.
Pak Devian. Yeah, maybe Pak Devian can advise how much the cost Pak to bring the 20 feet or 40 feet container from Singapore to Batam or from Batam to Singapore, Pak.
Cost.
Biaya, Pak.
Yeah. 20-footer door to door Batam Singapore is about 450. 40-footer is about 770.
There you are.
Cheap lah, that one lah. We saving
Door to door.
lah.
Door to door, that one.
Walah,
Yeah.
banyak murah lah.
Yeah.
No, you mean door to door because Pak Devian, you mean door to door because you do the custom clearance also, that's right?
Yeah. Subject custom clearance, subject BL and subject CBT law and you.
Ya, Pak Devian, jika tidak termasuk custom clearance, katakan tidak termasuk custom clearance, berapa
Ya. Subjek tidak termasuk custom clearance.
Berapa?
Kalau custom clearance
Bukan, maksudnya
Batam. Halo?
ya Pak Devian, kalau tidak termasuk custom clearance, hanya dari Singapura door to door until maksud saya masuk transportasi sampai ke itu berapa Pak?
Ya itu door to door one way ya, one way. 20 footer is 450 Singapore dollar, then 40 footer is 750 dollar.
Oke,
Two way mean double lah.
Hah?
Pak Delvian, it's two way double lah.
Kalau two way tergantung two way kan empty back to Singapore is cheaper lah.
Okay. No,
Stuffing between stuffing Singapore, stuffing cargo. Stuffing cargo Batam is normal $200. 2 juta.
Itu kan apa kontainernya out from Singapore to Batam. Then we reload again. Then we transfer the container Batam to Singapore. What is the charges?
Batam Singapore same charges.
Batam Singapore same charges lah.
Yes.
So you're talking about 900 two way and 1,005 lah, 40 footer lah. You saving maybe 50%.
Ya Pak.
Only that's what Pak Jos said lah.
Pak Jos, only thing Pak Jos, the rate.
Hah?
Murah lah kita, banyak murah. Kalau satu hari kontainer satu minggu 50 kontainer, you are saving at least $10,000. $10,000, $100,000.
We do about close to 50 containers a week because these are barang from China because we are logistics people for the Kilang, the factory in China. All right. So what happens is that when we take the stock of the container, we have to unstuff. We have to restuff a new container, and then we ship out again.
Yeah.
That is why we're looking for alternative in Batam or Surabaya, where it's safe.
But just if you got the information from 20 feet container from Singapore to Batam 450 and from
Wait. Pak Frankie, wait. Suddenly become noisy. Okay, now go ahead.
Okay, Pak. As the information from Pak Devian, the freight the freight cost from Singapore to Batam.
Correct.
What do you think? What do you think about this one?
He's right. It's cheaper. Whatever we are doing in Singapore, like I said, my port tax alone, cargo handling tax in Singapore is minimum $500 to $600. If you go masuk keluar dua kali, it's really 1,200. The container doesn't get cleared in Singapore, goes straight to Batam.
Yeah.
We already saved the $1,200.
That's why I say, can we work with the rate, but
Yeah, we can make it rate, no problem. Then after, of course, when all this add on, then you will probably end up your cost maybe about total cost be 1,800, 1,900. But you have to bill me with your profit, what? You know, you have to bill me with your profit. I'm not going to say I'm going to pay you 1,800. That's wrong, because like I already told you, in Singapore, I'm already paying $4,000 to $5,000 per container.
Okay.
So I have to look for cheaper alternative.
Yeah.
So even if you charge me 3,500, I will still makan.
Okay.
You know? No, I don't need to worry. All I know is don't need to unstuff. I save my unstuffing, my container bay, my road transport, my THC. You know, I only need to keep track of the container. We're going to Batam, come out, tap, Singapore, tap, go, finish.
I think can work, yeah, Pak, can work for the transshipment, yeah. Take from
Correct.
Singapore and after that send back to Singapore. Can work, yeah, Pak, yeah.
Can.
Okay.
I think that's the first step. We
First
start
step,
with the
yeah. I
first
think
step.
this is the what you call the door to open to other business,
Correct.
like the ship chandler or more business. This is more. I think we have to use this one first, okay, to make more closer, more detail, and then this is the way to we are okay. Run away, Pak.
Second step is OPL and anchorage.
Yes.
Supply. That one, I will give you the full list.
Okay.
All right, for you to study. Baca dulu. What is the list?
Yep.
What does the kapal want?
Yep. Sure,
I will
Pak.
give you the list in about maybe dalam 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, I have the list with me. You go and study the list. All right,
Yeah.
and then you see what can supply from Batam.
Okay.
You know, then the loading will be at OPL
Yep.
atau anchorage. When you are ready with the anchorage, you masuk.
Batu Ampat anchorage. Yes. Pak.
Correct. But sekarang, right now, our Singapore supply boat is trying to masuk into OPL. Tapi tak boleh because kena tangkap di Navy Indonesia.
Yeah. This is. I heard also.
Wah, 10 supply boat kena tangkap tau. Satu boat kena tahan 45 hari di Indonesia.
Itu mereka bukan supply. They throw the garbage in Batam water.
Yes.
They catch by the Indonesia.
They shift because the OPL is very narrow kan?
Yeah.
Right? Sepi kan? So they drift, dia masuk Batam water.
Yeah, they throw all the garbage from the ship to Batam water and then catch by the
The gadget they throw
Yeah, they throw it.
Oh, shit. But also the supply boat also because they become very slow, right?
Yeah.
The current is very fast in the east-west highway, right? That one, the supply boat drift into Batam.
Yeah.
Navy tangkap dia.
Yeah. No problem. This is issue we can solve with the Batam, maybe whatever, until we smooth the agreement, everything. They know our supply board. Okay, this is the point. We don't do the criminal one. We just do the supply with very full understanding, and we can run this one back.
Yeah. So when it comes to alcohol or other liquor,
no problem. As long not using for Indonesia flag or for the Batam local Batam.
Okay, because if you're talking about whiskey lah, brandy lah, rokok lah, you know, that one boss of supply is Pariki.
Yeah.
Pariki.
Okay, boss.
If they want whiskey, you have to supply. You know what to do.
Itu important that one.
Okay, Pak Jadi, kalau dari saya kelihatan sudah mulai tenang, Pak. Ya.
I am just drink. Ricky the supplier.
Tapi overall, yang what Pak Jos share with us today is give us a better pictures now how we gonna start and develop what we discussed today into reality, Pak.
Yeah.
Ya Pak Frankie ya.
Yes,
Karena
yes.
a few highlight yang Pak Jos sharing, the shipment alone in Singapore is cost so much already.
Cost so
If
much.
we can bring down
Yeah.
and give the same service, I think
You can make
we
the
have the
money.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Gitu Pak. That's the summary from my side.
Correct. Because once the cost is down, you can make money and we save the money.
Exactly. Then keep everybody happy. Then the business will grow.
Yes. That is the ultimate thing because to facilitate 45 to 50, 55 containers a week, Pariki, we are losing a lot of money here.
True. That's why I calculate that if you can save $1,000 a container, multiple by 200, they give you already $200,000.
Saving. Correct.
It's not small.
That's what we want. We want to
multiple
save.
by number of companies. Let's say, as you said, a few hundred. Let's say times 10. You are saving $2 million a month.
No.
That's a lot of money to save.
Every business, the more you save, you are safe.
Yeah, true.
But the moment your business lose money, no matter what you make, also you still pay.
Yeah. True.
You know?
I agree.
So we have gone through 16 years of this problem. 16 tahun. We understand what we need to do. We have to look for alternative pelabuhan to work. Not Singapore. Singapore tak boleh. The price is going up too high. Okay?
Okay. Anything else
No,
before we close?
okay. I just waiting for your sharing, and also I work closely with Pak Devian, who will the friend the cost. Okay, I will try to make it more detail for you. Okay, and then when I will discuss internally how to put the handling everything, and after that we will try to share to you this is the cost, something like that.
Bisa. Can. So what Pariki can do is drop an email to connect us so that we can start exchanging email.
Okay, we'll do.
Boleh?
Pak Jos.
Yes, Pak Jadi.
Thank you for your sharing. This is very interesting.
No problem, Pak.
For me, and is increasing clear for business opportunity for us.
I hope that will happen to you.
Yeah, and how it idea for the next weeks, for the Tuesday or Wednesday, we Zoom discussion together.
Boleh.
And this is with Batam Authority.
Oh, okay. So I have to keep
With
quiet.
Batam Authority, Batam Authority.
No, you can talk.
No, because the Batam Authority, this need information, how many opportunity from Singapore.
Okay.
That's why the point is from you, Pak Jos.
So I have to prepare. I have to prepare my nota. I will send to you first. Then we can have a Zoom.
Right. So maybe you talk to Pariki.
Yeah.
At least how many ship for 1 day, 1 month, and how many container, and then how many we can get from minimum from the Singapore can come to Batam.
Ada.
And then I think it's not only you can bring container to Batam. The more than that, we can export also the product of Indonesia to other countries.
I'm looking forward to the sugar and coffee.
Yes, exactly. Sugar, coffee, but anything you can. Because we not only transshipment, but more than this, we are marketing also, and the wholesaler also, wholesaler for Indonesia, right?
You see, your Batam airport, Hang Nadim, is only doing domestic.
Yes.
International, right?
Yeah, no international.
Used to Malaysia.
Dulu ada British Airways, kan?
Yes.
Dulu ada Firefly lah. Firefly.
Yeah. If you have passenger and cargo, I think you can do also.
Singapore block start.
Yeah, Singapore block
Maybe,
Yola.
you know, what they call it, air traffic controller, controlled by Singapore.
Airspace.
Small plane
Airspace.
can go Batam.
Yeah.
Only SOS come to Batam.
Hmm.
So how about just the Wednesday or Tuesday next week better for you?
Wednesday. Thursday boleh. Thursday.
Thursday, yeah, Thursday. What time?
Afternoon. No problem.
Afternoon,
From 2 o'clock onwards, no problem.
2
Thursday.
o'clock, right? Okay.
Yeah. Thursday is tanggal. Wait ah. Thursday is tanggal 23 kan?
Thursday is the- No. Yes. Yeah, 23, right.
23. Tak ada. I got no appointment yet.
Okay. So,
Nobody want to have appointment with me.
So we are in Batam together in the one office in Batam Authority.
Boleh pak? Can.